Right.
So we're actually on a podcast.
We're on a podcast, yes. So I'm gonna do an intro. Hello, I'm Cristy. Welcome to Journey to TEDx Wilmington. We are doing this all day long. Yes, we talk to these speakers. They go, they grace the red circle, and then they come and they talk to me. And right now, I've got
Deanna McLaughlin.
Deanna.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, she didn't say Leanna. See, I don't get to see everybody. And then this is the first time we're meeting. So I'm glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes. But I'm hearing great things. Like you were doing breathing things, you were doing pressure points. I don't know what's happening, but tell me, how did it feel? How did it feel?
It felt great.
Yes.
I enjoyed. I won't say I enjoy, but I'm comfortable being in front of crowds because I was a classroom teacher and worked in mental health before that. So for 30 years, I was in front of people, whether I wanted to be or not.
Okay. All right.
And through that, you learn, fake it till you make it. If you're not feeling well, it's not an opportunity for you to call off work. It's not an option. And although it might work every once in a while, it's not going to work
Yes.
long term.
I get it. Yeah. You know, I heard somebody say, it's actually more important to call off when you feel really well, and then you can go and live life instead of stay in bed.
That's a really important point. People need mental health days instead of sick days.
Mm.
And yeah, that is sort of how I approached it near the end. But I think that what's important on that note is that sometimes your body's giving you signals and we ignore them until you do end up laying down in bed and you're not able to get up.
You waited
So-
too long to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how did it feel though when you were up there? Is this your first TEDx, right?
It is my first TEDx.
Okay.
The great part was I didn't go first.
I love that. Yeah.
Because I like to sort of have a sense of who's in the audience, so I had an opportunity to meet some people and work around understanding what kinds of people are in the room, which is a really diverse, really educated,
Right.
interested in understanding different techniques they can do for other ways that they can nurture their business. And I just wanted to remind people that it's just as equally important, if not more important, that you nurture your own self. Because if you're not there to take care of yourself, you can't take care of others.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking earlier. I feel like that's the theme of today. With the fusion, alignment, and then filling your own cup. Really important, you know?
Well said.
I love that. Love that. So tell me about you. Are you local or did you
I
travel?
live in Philadelphia, PA.
Well,
That is where I reside right now.
okay, very good, very good. And you are let's plug you. Let's talk about what you do. So you do acupuncture or pressure? What was I hearing?
So through the years of working in my career and dealing with my own health issues, I have studied. I am not an acupuncturist, but I understand the Chinese medical model of the meridians, but more importantly, how our body is intended to have things moving instead of being stagnant. And one thing that we don't really consider much in our culture that's relaxed, hang out, everybody's got some push button, something remote. It takes away all the physicality of the world that we used to have, which was people cutting wood for the fire or baking bread from scratch and kneading the dough and making things by the hand.
Yeah.
Instead, it's a Google search and now an AI. Instead of critical thinking and really using the effort to get to the end of where your result is. So process is being ripped away and people want to feel good and they take a pill instead of learning how they can help themselves because they want an immediate fix. That Google search is what we want for our body. You know, people are taking, it was just the news thing this morning about these new diet pills, and the woman interviewing the head of medical center was asking him questions about the diet pills and concerned about the side effects for people that are losing weight quickly. And she said, wouldn't you think that, what about prevention instead of people taking these pills when they're already there? And he goes, yeah, but that's hard to predict the future. We're dealing with the here and now. What people realize don't think about or don't want to take the time is to think about what you're doing now and how it impacts your future.
Right.
For every chip that you put in your mouth, it's a chance for you to think about how many, people think of it in terms of calories, but it's really not about how many calories you burn. It's
Right.
how you're moving through your day and integrating it in the kind of day that you have, and whether or not you're circling around the parking lot 100 times trying to get closest to the door, or just taking the first open spot and walking a few extra car lengths.
Good point.
You can also do things in your kitchen while you're standing at the stove. There are some things you can do, again, mentioning pressure points that you can do to get rid of headache and migraine so that you are not taking that pill. Because in the beginning, it's not going to happen right away, but you have to remember that you didn't jump out of the crib and start running.
Right.
And if you fall a few times and you stop doing what you were doing and later think, oh, I probably would have been better if I'd have kept doing that, it doesn't mean that you can't restart it.
Right.
Every time we fall down, you get back up. We have to remind ourselves that learning process is all about failing. And people have become a little bit concerned that failing is disastrous. It's not the end of the world to fail. It just means that you learned something. And the one thing you may have learned is, I'm not going to do that again. And that's the best lesson you could learn, right? Because now you've eliminated that that's not how you're going to move forward.
Not for me. Yep, I love that. Wow. Yeah. So in your space now, so you're not teaching now. What are you doing? I mean, obviously you're still teaching, but what
I deinstitutionalized myself from the school districts and from mental health institutions, and I work with community groups, organizations, and again, do workshops and trainings and course series where I'm helping them understand the strategies to build resilience for their well-being so that they don't have to grab that pill. But the techniques that I use are a combination of things rooted in the science of breath work.
Yes.
Mostly it was a yoga-based a yoga-based world and culture. Here in America, we extract things that we can sell, and being well does not sell.
Right.
So, we take away the things that are meditative and we want to make it a fitness class. So you might call it a yoga class, but you go in and it's a fitness class using yoga poses. That's a very different thing than a traditional yoga class, which is really about the breath work and learning many techniques of how you can regulate your body, either building your energy up if you are feeling low or getting rid of your frustration, because inside our body we have gratitude and kindness and compassion and love and joy and all these qualities that we aren't taught to use. Instead, we have a world right now that's really gravitating toward aggression and fear. The more angry you are, the better it is. There is no tenderness. And
I love how you just said that. Yes.
yeah,
That's what's missing.
people are hungry for that. And I think that the pandemic was one thing, and everyone's still trying to get their feet back on the ground of how that community is going to look. But I do believe and get a sense from the people that I work with now that people are starved for that sense of community, for getting together and nurturing each other. Just being in the same room and looking each other in the eye is something that you might be doing it on phone, but you're still not connecting with the people in the room.
Okay.
You can see them, but you can't reach out and grab their hand or, just give them a little touch. Or, again,
Even have the same heartbeat. We were talking about that, just being in the same space as somebody and having your heartbeats match up. They say that because you're just even 12 feet apart from each other. So, that's important. It's really important. And I mean, thank God for, Zoom and technology and things like that. I mean, it's
100%.
really made the world a smaller place, but no, there's nothing that beats this.
Yes.
Being able to sit down and talk to you and feel your joy and excitement radiating off of you. I mean,
well,
this
I
is
work,
such treasure.
I've had cancer in my 20s, and right now I have been working since 2018 with the Cancer Support Center of Greater Philadelphia. All those services are free. So we are Zoom now. It's a hybrid class. I teach Qigong and yoga there. I also do some Tai Chi and Qigong and yoga through our public library system in Philadelphia, the free library. So on my website, Take Time to Breathe, it has events listed. There's some workshops coming up this week and in the near future. But my goal has always been to try to reach out to people who wouldn't be able to either afford to go into those kinds of places or they just don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And many people know they don't feel well, but they don't really know what to do about it. And the side effects of the medicines create so many more problems. It just makes more sense to learn ways that you can take care of the problem yourself without having to buy something, especially now that we have all these tariffs.
Yeah. Amazing though. I mean, this is just really cool what you do because I've realized like breath work is so important, you know. It alleviates stress, it builds cells in your body, you know, it causes youth in your veins, basically. Like it's really incredible and people take it for granted. Most people don't even do it right, believe it or not. And so you're teaching people how to go back to the basics and do the breath work and do it in traditional style, you know, and I love that. So we're gonna have to connect because I
Great.
think that would be really cool.
Yeah,
You know?
I would love to. Well, I would like to do most is to remind people when I'm teaching them how they can integrate it in their day, like how you can use it when you're in a room full of people and you can't escape that situation. Because when I was a teacher, that was 100% my situation.
Right.
So not only did I use things for myself, but I started using it with my students so that they could learn themselves. And then everyone had a clear head, calmer. Doesn't always last. Sometimes you need to repeat it. But if you know how to do it, you can be driving in a car and walking down the street and just focusing on your breath instead of your brain
Yeah.
makes a big difference
It
in
really
the
does.
overall health of your body.
Here's everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think my favorite part is when doing it, like getting the buzz, the tingles. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I think that's how you know you're doing it right.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I love that. All right. What else do you want to plug? Plug away. How do people get in touch with you?
You can reach out to me on my website at taketimetoBreathe.com and on Instagram. I don't post a lot because I think that we're oversaturated, but I'll post when I'm doing special events. And that is take time to breathe, but there's a dot between each word, so you're taking time to breathe.
Wow, I love that. All right, well, follow her. I'll be following her. She's my new friend. Now she's yours. And all right, this is Journey to TEDx Wilmington. Deanna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm also on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Take time to
please
breathe.
take time to breathe. I love it. I love it. All right, we are going to be back with more speakers all day long. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's my treat.
Oh, mine.